Hello, my friend. I am so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this week's astrology. Oh my goodness. This is quite a shocking week, I should say. In this week's episode, I'll dive deep into the transits from December 8th to the 14th, 2025. I will also be sharing a story on how my client got 5 times the amount of leads from LinkedIn after just one session from me. I will then end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. And if you can't tell, this one is just audio. And this is because, honestly, my energy has been a bit depleted from this full moon in Gemini. I'm recording it the day afterwards. And to be honest, I was thinking of making the audio podcast episodes a series called the In Between series, just because it's a bit more unique and juicy and also just very secretive. So I'm loving it. Let me know what you all think of that option because I think it's quite exciting. Now, let's start off with the transits for December 8th to the 14th. We're first going to start off on December 9th. Mars in Sagittarius is square Saturn in Pisces. This feels tense. Okay, so be prepared. This can be a more tricky day to get work done. This also feels like you're met with some limitations or boundaries when it comes to a relationship, more specifically a work relationship, yet this can also be a romantic relationship as well. This can feel as though perhaps an authority figure, may this be a boss, a mentor, a therapist, someone you're working with, is creating this boundary where you kind of have to reassess and change something in terms of how you are initiating, how you're taking action, and what you have to do moving forward. So this can feel frustrating. This can feel hard. Ultimately, this will help because it will teach you in terms of, okay, what feels better for me moving forward with this relationship? What does that look like for me? But also, how are you really taking action for the long term? What is better for you long term? Those are the questions Saturn loves to ask us. So just know that the ninth can feel like it's harder to get work done, even energetically. It can feel like even if there's not someone setting a boundary, you could just feel a bit more tired, a bit more drained. You could just feel like you're a bit stressed about a structure or a system that you have in place, and you feel like you might need to change this. Keep this in mind. Then on December 10th, we have Mercury in Gemini opposing Uranus in Taurus. This is a shocking day. Okay, so you can receive some very shocking news this day. So this could be a surprise conversation you're having with someone. May this be with a friend. May this be with someone you're close to. Maybe this is around finances or around food, real estate. These can be themes around the material world. So there's something here where you could potentially get an epiphany around how you handle money, how you attract money, what this looks like for you, what's been blocking you. So that can be super, super helpful. However, this could also look like an unexpected expense coming up that you kind of have to deal with. This could also look like someone having a conversation with you that you didn't think you were going to have, and they're sharing some more vulnerable information where it just completely changes your perspective on a situation. Keep this in mind. So take note to see what happens for you this day. I also see this as gaining an epiphany around your subconscious mind or what you're still healing from the past, what is not being said in terms of secrets from other people. So I do see this as potentially a secret gets exposed during this time. Now on December 11th, we have Mercury in Scorpio trine Neptune in Pisces. All right, so with this energy, this is super helpful. This feels very creative, very romantic, very artistic. This feels very dreamy in terms of dreaming a bigger perspective of what you emotionally want. So, with Mercury involved, this looks like we're having conversations when it comes to our dreams, when it comes to our artistic values, what that looks like for us, what you are doing to protect your energy, what you're doing to really replenish your energy is a great thing to focus on during this time. This also feels like there can be some confusing situations, and I say this because Mercury will be at 29 degrees of Scorpio for this trine. So there is a little bit of confusion even with a trine. It is very supportive, yet Neptune involved is actually really beneficial to really align your spirituality with what you want to communicate. What message are you sharing? What is the bigger purpose or lesson behind something you're experiencing? And that can be a really good thing to focus on this day. I highly recommend meditation or doing an art class this day or doing something that really replenishes your soul. What would that look like for you? I personally think taking a walk by any bodies of water, if you have like a lake or an ocean near you, that can be really soothing. This could also be, taking a bath this day. That can feel very healing for you. Mercury then enters Sagittarius later this day. And this is interesting. So we did have Mercury enter Sagittarius previously, so it re-enters Sagittarius after that Mercury retrograde. And it's going to take us back to October 29th and also November 18th, 2025. Check back to see what was happening for you because those dates are very important. Those dates are going to show you, okay, which themes were occurring for you, which conversations were you having around October 29th and November 18th, 2025. Now you have a new perspective on those situations. Now you are seeing things in a different perspective. So let me know what took place for you. I'm super, super curious. On the same day, we have Venus in Sagittarius square the North Node in Pisces. It is also in a square to the South Node in Virgo. So with December 11th, we have this energy where there's something here when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your values, when it comes to how you show love and affection in a certain relationship that is up for reassessment. This feels like there's a bit of tension here where maybe perhaps you want to invest in something such as a therapist, an astrologer, a mentor, someone that can help you align with more fulfillment emotionally, yet perhaps you are reassessing, okay, do I have the finances for this? This could also look like you're in a relationship and you're trying to align to a partnership that really understands you spiritually, that understands you emotionally, yet there's some conflict here. Perhaps you're realizing you have different values when it comes to a certain relationship. Perhaps you're realizing, oh, okay, this is not what I expected when it comes to connecting with a person and what they want to be doing every day or what they feel is for their growth. Maybe they're not in a place of growth and you are. So, this is a day where you're trying to reassess, okay, what do I need to change in my life to get me closer to what's going to lead me to more emotional fulfillment, more spiritual fulfillment, and especially partnerships that help you with this. So, this is a day of reassessment, especially, I should say, if you're a Libra rising, a Taurus rising, a Sagittarius rising, or a Pisces or Virgo rising. And I'm stating that because Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus, so that is at play. And also, we have Venus in Sagittarius, we have the North Node in Pisces, and the South Node in Virgo. So take note as to what happens for you this day. Then on December 13th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius, sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. This is very helpful. This feels like you're having conversations with friends, a community, a network about your dreams, your goals, what you want for the future. Maybe you're planning ahead. Perhaps you are goal setting for 2026. Perhaps you're getting excited about the astrology of 2026, which I am going to release your 2026 horoscopes very soon. Stay tuned for those. Yet this is an energy where you could feel more empowered to use your voice. This is an energy where you're trying to transform how you communicate in certain group dynamics, what this looks like for you. Perhaps you're getting closer to a friend group and you're realizing you're able to open up a bit more, be a bit more honest. Perhaps you are in a group mentorship program, for example, and you're realizing that you're getting more inspired by the people around you. Perhaps you go to a group event and you're just feeling a bit more passionate based on the conversation everyone is having, and it also allows you to share your voice, share your perspective. So this is very exciting. Now on December 14th, we have Mars in Sagittarius square Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so the 14th is going to be a confusing day. The 14th can feel very exhausting, I should say. And not only is Mars in Sagittarius square Neptune in Pisces, but it is at the last critical degree, which is 29 degrees of Sagittarius. What this means is you can just feel very, very drained. You can feel so tired. I honestly recommend not to overbook yourself on the 14th. If you're able to rest and recharge, take a nap, that is going to be super helpful for you to do on the 14th, because this is a day where you want to do something creative or spiritual, or you can get into a meditation and that could be very, very helpful for you. However, if you're trying to plan ahead and kind of work towards more finer details, things are very hazy and confusing this day. You could just feel extra tired. It could be harder to do certain tasks. So I wouldn't overbook yourself this day. Yet, honestly, an amazing, amazing day for creative work, spiritual work. May this be meditation, journaling, somatic healing, a yoga class, a candle making class, a swim class, whatever feels very nourishing for your body, that can be super helpful for you to do this day. I also mentioned doing something physical this day because the sun in Sagittarius is trine Chiron in Aries. So this is very healing. This could be a day where you are being seen in a new light, and it is helping you heal through a core wound when it comes to your sense of worthiness. Perhaps you're learning something new about yourself and your identity, and you're feeling more confident and empowered because of this. Perhaps you're reflecting more on the past few months, anything in terms of your self-confidence or your self-image, and you're realizing, actually, I'm feeling really good in my body, or you're seeing your own growth as to how far you've come in your own mind, as to what's possible for you. Who do you want to become? So yes, this can still feel a bit sensitive. You can still feel a little bit on edge, or a little bit like, oh, this is still something I'm working on. This is still something that is a sore spot. However, you're feeling so much better about this specific wound. And I should say this can also be a wound around being seen, what this looks like for you, how you are showing up with confidence, how you are working on your confidence. Are you taking action towards the things you want to be doing? Are you trusting yourself to do this? So this is still very, very helpful. This can be a very healing day to do something you're passionate about, to do something fun and creative. So I love this for us. So those are our transits for this week. Please let me know what you're most looking forward to. Let me know what secret was revealed to you, or what shocking information becomes available. Again, this is not to scare you. This is just to prepare you, because this can actually be a really good epiphany. So keep this in mind. Also, if you've made it this far in the podcast, please comment ocean, just so that I know you've made it this far in the podcast episode. I also want to let you know that if you haven't booked your 2026 reading just yet, this is the perfect time to do so for January. So, yes, I'm fully booked for 2026 readings this year, but if you want help in planning your year ahead, if you want help in understanding the major themes for you in the next year so you can better plan for 2026, then I'll leave a link to that down below. There's only a few spots for January, but I honestly love giving year ahead readings. I think it's very exciting. People just get more uplifted, they know what to focus on, they get more clear. It's so, so, so helpful in terms of planning your year ahead because honestly, it saved me so much time, it saved me so much grief understanding what to focus on. So I'll leave a link to that if you want that help or support. Now, in this week's episode, I want to dive into how my client got 5 times the amount of leads for her business on LinkedIn after just one mentorship session. So, this is a client of mine that I worked with for a few years. And when I am working with a mentorship client, we go through multiple sessions together to really understand what your mindset blocks are, what are your energetic blocks, what is coming up for you in terms of your transits, what are your main goals for the year, and what are you doing in terms of your habits to get to where you want to go, what needs improvement, how can you best redirect this energy when you really need that support. And for this client specifically, she came to me in one of our sessions together, and she was struggling to promote her services on LinkedIn. She was struggling to just share some big accomplishments she was having in her business and her career, and how she was presenting at conferences, how she was hosting yoga retreats, how she was teaching yoga classes, how she was speaking to corporate clients about wellness and how to use yoga practices to really help you calm your nervous system, feel better in your body, and really regain your energy. So it was interesting when we were having this conversation because she had so many wins. Like, this is mind blowing to me because she had so many wins from our last session. And she was still so hesitant to share her wins publicly. She was still hesitant to share it on like a very, I would say, corporate platform like LinkedIn, which is very professional in this sense, but I also see LinkedIn. I mean, I'm not honestly the hugest fan of LinkedIn. However, I still think it can be very helpful for your business depending on which clients you're looking for. So, when she was sharing how she was hesitant about this, what we tried to uncover for her was, okay, what were her limiting beliefs? What does she believe would happen? And how can she reframe this as helping more people by posting on LinkedIn? So I asked her a few questions about this. And after she understood that actually, yes, there was a fear of being judged by people she used to work with or people she currently works with. I think it's so normal for us to have these fears, by the way. I think it's a very, very human response because we used to live in tribes. We used to really need community, which we still need community, but we were so afraid of being exiled in a community. So that is where that fear stems from. It's a very human reaction. So after we had our session together, I started to ask her, okay, but what if you posted and you get new clients that are corporate clients that are willing to pay you for these services? Is it worth it then? And she started to realize, yes, that is completely worth it, even though she was afraid. And we also digged a bit deeper as to, okay, if this is a fear, how can she really let go of this fear to make it a bit easier for her to keep posting? And what she did was also tag people that she was collaborating with. So it's not just an alone single post. And this greatly helped her because it gave her a bit more accountability. It also showed her, like, okay, I'm not alone in this. And, even for her, I think she tagged me in a post afterwards because it gave her the courage because there was someone else involved. And this is why mentorship is so life-changing. It's knowing, okay, I have someone in my corner, I have someone cheering me on, I have someone to talk things through with to get to the next level, because we don't even know how many things are stopping us in terms of our mind from reaching our next level. Because your body, your mind are trying to keep you comfortable. They're trying to keep you safe. And that is a very human instinct, right? So it's really understanding, okay, if I'm doing this alone, I can still do this, but it might take you a few more extra years, which some people are okay with. Some people are okay with their business taking maybe 20 years, 30 years down the road to launch. And yes, the business does take time. Building a solid foundation takes time. We have to think about Saturn. However, where I see people struggle with the most when I'm mentoring is the reason why they're not making progress is because they didn't get the support early on. They didn't get the mentorship, they didn't get the coaching, they didn't take the courses, they didn't invest in themselves because they didn't believe in themselves. Because investments show you that you believe in yourself enough to make back that investment and more. And of course, it's really about choosing the right type of mentorship program for you, choosing what works for your energy specifically, especially your birth chart can be so helpful to do, let me tell you, because I remember hiring mentors and coaches at the beginning of my career, and it was not what I expected. They did not consider my energy specifically. They did not consider what worked well for my birth chart. And I still learned so much from them. And that is a very important lesson, is I don't know if I would have invested in them at this time. However, I still learned from those experiences, and it taught me, okay, who do I want to invest in? Do I like their energy? Do I like how they show up online? Do I like how consistent they are? And in the beginning of my astrology practice, before I launched my astrology practice, I should say, I invested in mentors and coaches where I did like their energy. I felt like they could talk really well. However, they weren't showing up online in the way that I wanted to show up, right? And I know for myself, I'm a Leo. Part of my life mission here is to share and be seen. I know this is ironic to say when this podcast episode is audio only. However, you're going to see an image of me somewhere on this newsletter. Yet, the interesting thing is when I started to invest in mentors and coaches that were really caring about my energy, really helped me understand what was working well in my business, how they were showing up online in the way I wanted to show up, that changed the game for me completely. And my business started to take off more. I became more confident in myself. And I started to realize how important it was to really do my research and also invest in people that I love their energy, but I also love their presence online, how they are being seen on social media, and how many people they're helping. Because I don't want you to focus on vanity metrics. I want you to focus on, okay, how many people can I help today? If my video is reaching 1 million people, it's not for the sake of reaching 1 million people. It's for the sake of helping 1 million people. Because energetically, that is so powerful, that is so life-changing. You should have a mission where you feel so called to help more people. And if your business is not giving you that, if you feel like, actually, I don't care about helping anyone, then I don't know if you should be in business, because your business should strive to help people. I know for myself, I just want to help people be seen online because I was so afraid of being seen. I was ripping up photos of myself at a young age because I hated how I looked. I hated the idea of being seen. I wanted to be invisible. So for me to go through such a mass transformation, that has been so life-changing for me because I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn the importance of believing in myself so much that I will constantly show up no matter what. And I feel so much better. I feel so excited. I feel like this is the best my business has ever done. And it's also honoring my energy too when you feel like there's a certain day where you're not energetically where you want to be. Honoring that and seeing, okay, how can I still show up, but also honor my energy? And that is also why I'm recording this podcast episode audio only. So it's really navigating this in your business that will give you such life-changing results. So I'm so proud of my previous mentee where she started to show up more regularly on LinkedIn after that one mentorship session, because I remember that conversation so clearly. And she got so excited to tell me our next mentorship session together that some people were reaching out to her about how her post was inspiring, how it was helping her, how they could work with her. They were asking her questions, and this was giving her more leads for her business. So it was so exciting to see, right? And it was just that one conversation because sometimes we need that extra push. Sometimes we need to reframe the problem at hand. That is what I recommend you to do. If you take away anything from this podcast episode, reframe your fear. Reframe what is possible for you. What would you rather believe? That is going to help you so much. And if you want more help on this, if you want that support in your business in 2026, this is exactly what I help my Boldest You mentees with. I am super excited to relaunch my Boldest You mentorship program. I am also very excited to soft launch my group mentorship program, which is also a variation of the Boldest You mentorship program, which is a combination of astrology, brand strategy, social media strategy, mindset work, and energetic work to get your business to where you want it to be in 2026 to reach your goals. Because honestly, Forbes published this article just in 2025, and now it's 92% of people do not reach their yearly goals. 92%, which is wild. Just last year, it was 91%. So less people are reaching their goals each and every year. Does that mean you should give up? No, you should never give up. I really recommend to not give up because if you want something, I've heard this and it really does help me. It's understanding that if you really desire something and you want something for your life, that just means a future version of yourself has that dream and goal. You already have what you desire in the future. You just have to connect the versions of yourself. You just have to step into that identity. And by doing so, to step into the boldest you that has everything you want, you're going to help more people in the process because the more you're able to align what feels more spiritually fulfilling for you, what feels emotionally fulfilling for you, what feels exciting for you to do, what makes you feel happy doing, your energy is going to be magnetic. And the more you can do this in your business, the more fun you're going to have. That's going to have a beautiful effect on your business where you're just going to feel like it's easier to run your business, where you're just going to feel like, okay, things are happening. I'm attracting clients out of nowhere. It's so interesting. This year, I just find random clients coming to me. I just had one client buy for me right away after ChatGPT recommended me. Again, this is not the first time ChatGPT recommended me. I also had another random client find me and my horoscopes and they purchased right away. Sometimes your clients are just waiting for you to share your message, to share your service, to share your voice, to share how you could help them. And they just need that clarity of what is gonna help me? How can I do what is more fulfilling for myself, but help more people in the process? So again, if you want my help and support, I have a few spots left for the Boldest You mentorship. I'll leave a link to that down below. The price does increase after December 12th. So go save on the mentorship while you can, because honestly, it is a life-changing program. It is so valuable, so juicy. Go read the testimonials and reviews, because honestly, I've loved seeing the transformation of my mentees. I had another mentee who recently got accepted to TEDx for a speaking keynote, which is amazing because she just stepped into the identity of a speaker. So it is so mind-blowing to witness how that mindset work that we've done together has transformed how she sees herself and how it's getting her new opportunities in her business to get to where she wants to go. So it's so exciting. Again, feel free to message me any questions if you have any questions about the mentorship. And let's get into your tarot reading for this week. So the first card out is the Devil card. Okay, there's something this week that feels a little bit hard, that it feels like your subconscious is weighing you down. This could be codependency. This can be restricting yourself in a way that you don't even realize. This could be leaning on a coping mechanism. Try and see, what lie are you telling yourself? What have you been doing that's been holding you back? I'm getting this message like if you're using drinking to numb, or you are in a place where you're just repeating certain cycles, toxic cycles that don't make you feel good. May this be dating cycles, like dating the same kind of person, or may this be being in your business and just feeling so stuck that you're not seeing how to get out of a situation. May this be even just feeling confident in yourself and just having negative self-talk. This is a week where you kind of have to redirect that energy and really start to see how to break this pattern. This can feel hard. It can feel as though you're being tempted about the past. I'm also hearing this message of like if you're still stalking your ex's profile, or you're still trying to go back to the past, but you're not being present right now. That is what you need to change. You need to learn how to be so present and happy in the present, and that is going to change your life. And I know that's easier said than done. I know that it's hard, but it doesn't have to be. Remind yourself it doesn't have to be. It's making sure you're doing things for yourself and your body every day that makes you feel good. What are the words you're telling yourself? What story are you telling yourself? Are you speaking to yourself in a kind, loving way? This is the week to say loving, kind affirmations to yourself. I highly recommend doing this. This has changed my life completely. I'll leave my free overnight affirmation video down below for more money and love, just because it's so healing to listen to, and it's completely changed my life. Now the next card out is the Five of Pentacles. So it feels like a bit of an intense week. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like maybe you're not receiving the type of love that you want. Maybe you're not in the place you want to be. Maybe you're feeling like you're being let out in the cold, or you don't know why it's not happening for you. Yet, the Five is also very exciting. The Five is a message of change. So things are changing for you. And in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this card is showing you there's light. There is a way out. Are you calling yourself a victim, but not really seeing your power, seeing how you can change your life? Are you saying you're a victim of circumstance, of the government did this to me, or this person did this to me? And I will say, this really depends on the situation. Of course, we can still be victims of horrible situations. I'm not saying to forgive those people, but I'm saying you need to take back your power. You need to remind yourself that even though some hard, difficult things happen to me, even though I'm not happy with how certain things are happening, there are certain things you can control. There are certain things you can do. There are certain things that can improve your life. So remind yourself of this. You have more power than you think, and that should be empowering. That should be very exciting. That should feel really, really good. And if it doesn't, that means you need to rest, you need to recharge because it's going to make you feel better. And then really focus on what you can change in your life. Because yes, change is great, but if you're not feeling excited about being motivated about changing things for the better for you, that means you need to rest. That means your body is tired and you need to calm your nervous system. The next card out is the Hanged Man reverse. Okay, so even though this is happening, this is a time to take action. You've done a lot of perspective shifting with that past Mercury retrograde. There's been a lot where you're reassessing things, and maybe you didn't take action right away. Maybe you needed to first see a few things and gain clarity before taking action. But now, with the Hanged Man reverse, this is a time for you to take initiative. This is a time to change something in your life. So this is exciting. This is great. You're gaining the clarity you need to move forward. So I love this energy for ending off the week. I asked what our challenge is, and we have the Two of Swords reverse. So it feels like maybe perhaps you were trying to ignore an issue or a problem. Perhaps you were trying to ignore taking care of yourself or doing self-care. Just know I'm guilty of this too. Just know you can overcome this. It's going to feel so much better this week. And I asked what would help us overcome this aspect, and we have the Ace of Wands. So even though you could have been ignoring a certain issue, the Ace of Wands wants you to listen to your intuition with the Two of Swords reverse, but the Ace of Wands wants you to take action towards something you're passionate about. What is more fun for you? What is going to make you feel excited? What can you do every day that puts you in that energy? This is going to help so much. This is a brand new beginning for you in terms of your creativity, your self-expression, your passion. Focus on that energy. Focus on what will make you feel this. So let's say you're not running your own business. Maybe you're at a corporate job that you still love, but you're missing some creative elements. Maybe this is just you taking a pottery class. Maybe this is you taking a class that you wish you did as a kid. Maybe this is you just recording TikToks for fun. Whatever that may be for you, this is a card of hope, and this is a card of action and excitement and fun and creativity. So tune into that energy because that's going to make you feel so much better this week. What small thing can you do every day this next week that is more fun for you, that is creative, and that's just going to spark some joy for you? Maybe that's just going to a Christmas market or a holiday market. Maybe that is just taking photos. Maybe that is doing something with your friends that makes you laugh, that allows you to be seen. So I really hope this helped, friend. Oh, I did pull you some oracle cards and you got deep intuition. So listen to your intuition this week. Listen to what limiting beliefs are coming up for you, what you need to change and rewrite, but also how you can take back your power. I'm really hearing that message from Spirit for you. We also got Emerge. So this is the time to shine. This is the time to be emboldened and really witness your own strength. This is the time. You also got You Already Are. So if you're waiting to be a perfect version of yourself, if you're waiting to be more confident, if you're waiting to set up your life a certain way before feeling worthy of what you want, you already are worthy. You're worthy just as you are right now. You're worthy of your dreams and desires just as you are right now. And that doesn't mean that you can't change and improve your habits, or you can't change and improve how you feel confident. But the more steps you do, the more you're able to embrace that it's a journey and not a destination. Just reminding yourself that you're worthy just right now in the present moment can help so much. And just know that if you have that dream, it is meant for you. So embrace it. There's only one of you. You are super unique and you already are. So I hope this helped, friend. If you want help in growing your wellness or creative business in 2026, go check out the Boldest You Mentorship Program. If you apply before December 12th, you do save over $1,000 on the mentorship, which is mind-blowing. So go check that out. Feel free to message me any questions you have if you want my help and support. I'm happy to help. And I'm so excited for this week for you. Let me know how you're feeling this week. Let me know how you're doing. And just remember, the universe has your back. And with peace and love, take care.